So yeah, every 3 months, they have me come in and do a business approved section where we talk about something related to usually apps, things of that sort. This month I want to talk about scheduling apps, of all things. And I'm going to kind of give you a silver, gold, platinum, I guess we'll call it, right? 3 different levels. By the way, this was inspired by Bill Higley, who apparently did not show up today. Last time I did a presentation, I was poking fun at Thad, and he decided not to show up. So if you don't want to show up, let me know. I'll put you in my next presentation. First of all, Google Calendar, probably the most well-known. Terrific app for setting things in motion, getting things together. Here's a screenshot of mine for the week. I like to color code mine. So actually on Saturday, which is all the way on the right, I actually just made a legend, which is a recurring every week. So my legend always shows up on Saturday, so I know the different colors during the week. So I've got phone calls, meetings, events where I have to go, so different colors for different things. Very easy to plug into. Of course, there's an app for your phone, so everything syncs together. If I'm out here, let's say somebody wants to meet with me today, I can just pull up my Google Calendar, plug it in, and it shows up on all my devices immediately. Adding a new one is as simple as clicking on the particular section, typing in what it is, meeting with Bill, and then of course you can edit it if you want to change colors, things of that sort. You can set it as recurring. A lot of different things you can do with this. Pretty down and dirty, pretty easy to use. You can also type in locations. So here I typed in Bread Co., and Google was smart enough to know I was talking about St. Louis Bread Company. And it actually started listing out locations. If I typed in Manchester, it would go to the one on De Pere, or in De Pere, it would start to know those different things. So the other cool thing about this is when the meeting then comes up, 10 minutes or half hour, whatever I set it for, I actually have a button where I can click on it. It'll take me to Google Maps to that location, so I can immediately GPS myself right to that spot. So I don't have to, if anybody knows me, I don't have to plan ahead to actually go to there. I just click the button and it tells me where to drive. So terrific little thing. You can also build more than one calendar, which is pretty cool. So I've got Amber's calendar, what she's doing. I've got my podcasting calendar on there, when those times are. You can turn these calendars on and off and overlay them on top of each other to make sure nothing's conflicting, things of that sort. Pretty cool. Google Calendar is free, and you can get it for anywhere. I think it's just google.com/calendar. It does work on all devices, which is terrific as well. Number 2, which is probably the norm, I guess, and there's plenty of other ones out there like this, but Calendly is one that a lot of people use. It's calendly.com, and basically it lets you set up different types of events. So in this case, I have a 30-minute consult, a 1-hour consult, a one-on-one meeting, things of that sort. So what now I can do is if somebody wants to meet with me, let's say one-on-one, I can just direct them to that particular event type or that calendar, and then they get to choose, okay, what do you want? Well, I want a one-on-one with Will. Okay, when I pick that, it actually shows you the different, I'm setting it up. Sorry, I'm not sure where I'm at. You can set up what kind of event type you want to do, how long it is there a buffer time on each side, things of that sort, and that it works with, it integrates with Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, a lot of other things so that you can see if those times are already taken or not. Basically, when I send someone a link to one of those things, it gives them a list of days and times that they could sign up. When I click on Thursday, November 23rd, it says, okay, Will has a 2 o'clock and a 3 o'clock slot. Which one would you like? I click the 2 o'clock spot. I confirm that that's what I want. And then it asks me for my details. In other words, just my email, those sort of things. It then creates the calendar, which is pretty cool. It automatically emails me, hey, Will, you've got a 2 o'clock with Brian. Then it automatically lets me add that to my calendar, those sort of things. They do have a free version. There's the premium, which is $8, and then the pro, which is $12 a month. So very affordable. I think it's a little cheaper if you pay by the year as well. And then, of course, you get some different functionality depending on which one you use. Event types can be different colors. You can modify these just like you do with Google Calendar. You can set different things. So the last one, and my favorite one, and Bill Higley actually told me about this, is X.AI. And just like it sounds, it is an artificial intelligence scheduler. So pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited about this. So here's the way that this works. Mary and Greg are emailing. Hi, Greg, it was nice to meet you during Ad Week. Do you have a little time for coffee to continue our conversation? I can swing by somewhere close to your office. Thanks, Mary. So Greg replies to her, sure, Mary. And then he copies Amy, who is Amy Ingram, who is the AI, who has an email address, and says, Amy, can you find 30 minutes for coffee at my office? Cheers, Greg. At this point, he's handed off this conversation between Mary and Amy, who's not real, to finalize all of that, right? So here's Amy. She pops in, happy to get something on Greg's calendar. Does Tuesday, March 3rd at 11 work? Alternately, Greg is available Tuesday at 4. Greg's office is near 77 blah blah Street, San Francisco. Signed, Amy. Okay, Mary replies back, mornings are not so good, so 11 o'clock slots are out. 4 p.m. I can do, thanks, Mary. Now she's talking to Amy, right? Greg's out of the conversation at this point. Amy writes back, Mary, thanks for letting me know. I'll send out an invite. And that's just what she does. She sends out an invite, which I get a copy of. Mary gets a copy of. And I didn't have to do anything else, which is terrific, right? So all that time, did Mary know she was talking to a robot? In most cases, probably not. Don, I tried it on you. Did you know you were talking to a robot? You did not. So we set up a meeting, and this exact thing, he just thought it was my assistant taking care of scheduling this event. So of course I hooked up Amy Ingram, AI, to my Google Calendar so she knows what slots are available. There's also some other things that I can do, like when I set up the thing, of course this is Greg doing it, let me find it back here. Here we go. Amy, can you find 30 minutes for coffee at my office? So 3 things were sent to Amy at that point. First of all, 30 minutes is going to be the length of the thing with Mary and Greg. For coffee, so when you first set up AI, you can set it up that if you say for coffee or for lunch, that different things happen. Or you could say for a call. So if it's for a call, she knows that you're going to just be calling each other. If you say for lunch or for coffee, she'll know the time frames. You can even tell her what locations you like to have those meetings at. So she will automatically say, Will is available between 12 and 1 for lunch. He likes to go to the bread company in Arnold. Are you available? So it's pretty cool that she just kind of takes care of all of that for me. Of course, I'm typically an early adopter to a lot of these things, so I'm having a lot of fun playing with the system. But very cool, and even on the invite here, it says Amy Ingram, assistant to Greg, right? So pretty cool. This one starts out $0, which you can join the wait list to get on. And if you decide to pull out your wallet, all of a sudden the wait list is gone. $17 a month, which is pretty darn cheap. It's not much more than Calendly. And it kind of does it all for you. And then there is a business version, $46 per user per month. I'm using the $17 one, and it seems to be working just fine. So that's it. There is nothing to download for Amy. So once you set it up, you just copy Amy on your email, your response back to them, and she takes it from there. Pretty darn cool. So what questions do you guys have? I kind of blasted through those. We'll start with Richard.
Can you change the name of your assistant?
So you can use Amy Ingram or Andrew Ingram by default, or yes, you can go in and change the name of the person.
How well can Amy tell basically where you are on a location and how much time you might need to get to another location? Say if you're traveling 45 minutes between appointments, is she going to pick up on that?
So when you're setting your appointment up, or when you're setting up the system the first time, you can tell her what buffers you want, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, so she won't bump any calendars or any things up against each other. And she also understands whether it's a call or coffee, so she knows whether you're traveling or not. So there are those kind of things. And if there's a conflict, I've had a couple people email back to Amy, I didn't even know, and say, Amy, I can't make tomorrow's 2 o'clock. we need to reschedule. And she just takes it, reschedules, emails me and says, hey, that event, 2 o'clock has been changed to 4. Okay, okay, I click it and I'm done. Pretty insane, right? All the way in the back.
Have you ever met another Amy Ingram?
No, I have not. I have not. That would be crazy. I guess I'd switch it to Andrew then and say, I'm sure it would happen. Yeah, I'm sure it would. Yeah, Brian?
So can you tell it, what specific locations you like to meet at?
Yep. Typically, so I would set up lunch, and if I ask Amy to set up a lunch, she will automatically say, Will likes to meet at the Bread Co. in Arnold. Is that okay? And I actually had somebody say, I'd rather meet at Starbucks in Fenton, and she handled it perfectly fine. Yeah.
On both Calendly and XAI, how often do you need to update your availability and update your schedule in there so it always stays current?
So as long as you're using Google Calendar or whatever calendaring, I don't know how to say that, system you're using, that's what she's looking at. So she's just looking at my Google Calendar and seeing slots open. So if I have something like E4E, I'll go in and physically put E4E in from 5 to 11, so I know that she doesn't bump anything up against that, and I have time to get to the next place.
So theoretically, it could schedule you all day even if you don't want it to.
Correct. Yes. So if you like a calendar that's very fluid, or you don't know what you're going to be doing that particular day, then it might not work well for you. Yeah. Somebody else had a question.
Yeah, if the person responds that they'd rather do a phone call, will she figure that out?
Yes. Yes, she understands the difference between those. And in fact, for my phone call systems, I actually use Join Me, which is like Zoom. So she actually goes ahead and emails them the link to the conference call automatically.
So can you say, okay, I want to schedule 2 to 3 weeks out or something to where you're not changing calendar today and
Yep.
I've got something changed? Okay, and how about security on those?
I don't know anything about security because it's just email, so it's probably not terribly secure. You can, as far as scheduling things out ahead of time, I've actually emailed her and said, Amy, can you set up something with me? I think with Don. Can you set up something for me and Don next Thursday or Friday? So she kind of understands the English, and they actually have a private Slack group for people that use the chat program for people like me who are really excited about it. And we're constantly trying different language on Amy to see how she responds to it as well. Yeah. Lori?
So with Google Calendar, I've never used it, so I'm not real familiar with it, but you were saying that you can create multiple calendars.
Right.
Is that something that like if you create a calendar for someone else, can you just share it with that person and they can see it, but they can't see all your other calendars?
Right, or you would probably do it the other way around. So Amber created her own calendar and then shared it with me so that she can put things in there on that calendar that she wants me to see and not when she's going to the club that night or whatever she's doing.
Are you able to edit that and add to her calendar?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you have to set permissions up so you can have people either just look at your calendar or that you can give them permissions.
Can she schedule with more than one person at a time?
I hear you, but I don't see you. Who is? Oh, right there.
Yeah. So could you schedule 3 or 4 people simultaneously
With Amy?
Trying to coordinate a meeting,
Yes.
essentially?
Yes. She understands the difference. So typically I'll CC the person. So Amy, can you set up an appointment for Don and myself next Thursday? 5 minutes later, I can say, Amy, can you set up an appointment for Brian and myself for a call on Friday? So every Monday, she'll basically email me a list of my upcoming events. You can. Yes, as long as they're CC'd on the original thing, everybody will then receive the invite at the end. And you can even say Brian is optional. So she'll CC him, but he doesn't necessarily have to go in there. Mary?
I was thinking in terms of Jill's comment, couldn't you just artificially block out 3 hours for office work if you needed to be in your office, and therefore Amy wouldn't book in there because it looks like, even though it's not a client appointment, it's something that's blocked?
Yes, that's what I do. And the other way around, you can do that with Calendly, which you can tell them I only want appointments to be scheduled between 2 and 4 on Tuesday and Thursday. Yep. Okay, Andy?
Now, if you have
I think we're
multiple-
out of time after this.
If we have multiple calendars, does she check all of the calendars?
I don't know because I haven't tried that, but thank you for the idea.
Okay, let me know.
Yeah. I know that she'll work with more than just Google Calendar. That was in my example, but you can, any of the other calendaring systems that you're using, she should. Yeah, I don't know. I've only hooked her up with the one, but I'll try. Yeah, you'd probably have to set them up individually, but it probably can be done. So like if I need to have a meeting with Brian and Amber and I both need to be available, then I can understand that situation. That's a good idea. I'll find out. All right, that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
Where does she pull the contact information when you say set up a meeting with Brian?
He's CC'd on the email to Amy.
CC.
Yep. 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 All right, thank you, everybody.